Good morning, YouTube. This is Dobutsu Kyoji, the Animal Liberation Temple. I always have to start the YouTube stream first because um, it automatically starts when I start streaming. I will start the other live streams now, so bear with me one moment. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Dobutsu Kyoji, the Animal Liberation Temple. Um, One moment while I continue to check the live streams, make sure everything is working correctly. Good morning, Tanya Salazar. So good to see you here on Facebook. And good morning, Yolanda. So good to see you as well. Okay, it looks like all of my live streams are working correctly. Starting to get a little bit better at this. So let's start with the updates this morning. We've gotten quite a bit of rain. Um, Pretty big storm came through here. Everything's very wet and muddy right now. Very beautiful sunny day today, though. We're gonna get some rain later this week, but very sunny today, which is nice. We kind of need that break from all that rain, and when it rains, it makes animal care very difficult. Um, I was hoping to get our fundraisers to a point to where we could have built a couple more structures before the rain season. And officially, we're not in it yet, so we still have some more time. So if you have the ability to donate, please do. And if you know, um, not everybody does, so please just share our posts about our fundraisers or this live stream. Uh, all that really goes a long way. It helps a lot. So sharing is definitely very helpful. Um, that seems to be most of the updates this week. A lot of rain, dealing with that. We could definitely use more batteries because spending a lot of money on gas right now to run the generator every night. We we used to in the summer, not have to run the generator at all. Um, but now that our days are shorter, we just don't have enough battery to make it through the day. Um, I'm not running the hot water right now because of the, power demand, but that's okay. Let's get started with the updates from our residents. Make sure there's nothing going on with my Facebook. It's very strange. Um, there it is. Good morning, Amanda Jane Wheatland. So good to see folks, new folks joining in this morning. That's really helpful. Oh, good morning, Neil. So good to see you. I don't know why my chat does not get updated all the time. I have to keep like refreshing it. But if I use this app, maybe I can get it more updated. Um, but so good to see Neil here and Yolanda and Amanda. So good to see you. No snow or ice or extreme cold weather, but it's coming. That's good. Yeah, Ontario probably going to get a lot of snow and ice and extreme cold. Um, Sounds very difficult. Oh, good morning, Evelyn. So good to see you again. Haven't seen you in a while here, at least not commenting. You probably still watch our live streams. Good morning, Martin. So good to see you as well. Um, so many wonderful people joining our live stream this morning. Very grateful for that. So we have the resident update, and we have our ducks actually enjoying the pond this morning. Everybody ate already, so that's super good. Got ahead of that. Breve, Grave, Amanda, and Renee kind of enjoying the pond this morning, soaking up the sun. They super like the rain. Even the turkeys were hiding when it was raining, but the ducks are right in the middle of the yard just playing and enjoying the rain all night and all day. They enjoy that rain. Very different birds. Then we got Jingda the dog. He's doing well, having trouble here and there, but doing well. Lucy the dog is on watch right now. I can see her just enjoying the sun as well. Um, she's doing really well. I saw the goats yesterday. Rob, Matt, and Philip all doing really good. I can't believe how big Rob is. He's so big. I'll have to get some pictures of Rob and put them on our pages. The tortoises are in the medical building because of all the rain. So they're doing really well, enjoying it's a little bit warmer in there. Miyachi definitely likes that heater in there. Everyone's doing good. All the tortoises are doing well. Priya and Harriet are doing well. Probably happy it's not raining. They have a shelter. It's not big enough. I need to get a bigger shelter for them for this rain, and especially as it gets colder. That's going to be my priority. My next priority is getting Priya and Harriet a little bit better shelter for them. Ray is right here. He was behind me. Now he's walked over there to drink some water. He's doing really good. Jax, Oscar, and Jimmy, our other roosters, are doing really well. Cornish roosters. The guinea fowl, Kyle and Wendy, are doing really well. My roosters in the main aviary, which are Sabrina May, Brad, Hard One, Mr. Black, Elton, and Magnus, are doing well. Our hens, Glennis, Gwen, Alice, Melissa, Melinda, Sunny, Dora, and Daniela, are all doing really well. the rats, Yamabuchi and Hasu, they're super happy. They got brand new beds. You know, they have the hammock beds, and they got brand new ones. And also, their little crawl toy, but they like to, you know, scale across this little toy that I have hanging in their kennel, and um, they also eat it. So they ate and destroyed their last one. So they got a new one. So they're super happy about that. Sequoia's doing really well. One second while I check on Jingda. He's pointing. What is it, Jingda? Okay. He just gets stuck every now and again. Neil asked how I'm doing. I'm actually doing pretty good. It's cold, but I know it's always cold here. In the winter, it just gets really cold. There's not a lot I can do about it. I have a space heater, but I'm trying not to run it because it really hard to keep up the electricity that way and just spends a lot of gas. Um, so that's okay. But I'm doing fine otherwise. Skin condition still there, but slowly and slowly getting better. Um, in the Cornwall corner, we have our Cornishes, Poppy, Aster, Ivy, Azalea, Peony, Cynthia, Lotus, Edward, Magnolia, Hazel, Sage, Marigold, Camilla, Hydrangea, Holly, and Zinnia. They're all doing really good. Fed them this morning. Um, their area is super muddy, and so I'm gonna have to do some mud cleanup today. Um, Maybe put some straw over the mud, help dry it out a little bit. I don't know if you can hear Sequoia. She's doing really good. My dove friend, or he, I believe it's a he. So Sequoia's doing really good. And then we got, of course, the 40 pigeons. The first pigeon, or our original pigeon, FP, little roller, he's doing really good. Then, of course, we have Champagne, Appletini, Tulin, Sasha, Yo-Yo, Petey, Ricky, Spencer, Shambles, Beluga, Beth, Pee-wee, Cascade, Augustus, Frankie, Rufus, Harper, Elliot, Snickers, Boba, Kismet, Farah, Angus, Pandora. Pandora was my little pigeon that was kind of not walking around great. We gave her like 3 or 4 days in a separate kennel with separate food and water to help her kind of like rest up and heal a little bit. Um, Yesterday she was doing really good, so I kind of let her out, walk around a little bit. She's out this morning, gonna just keep checking in on her, making sure that she feels good and confident. But she seems to be doing a lot better. She was out there eating with everybody this morning, so we're happy to see that. Then we have Jones, Finch, Sin, Harriet, Lago, Fred, Tramonto, Halo, Vin, Capone, Thimble, Percy, Pacino, Lacey, and the other Sasha. So they're all doing really good. Happy. The pigeons are all doing well, keeping up with all this. And whoops, just checking my comments. Ooh, -2 degrees Celsius. That's rough, Neil. All right. So we have 89 non-human animal residents living here. I would make number 90. um, we're all getting by. I wish I was a little more prepared for winter, but the funds are just not there yet. But we still have some time before the end of the year. Hopefully, some folks will make some donations. You know, we are a 501c3, so all of your donations are tax deductible. And if you need a letter, please, reach out, and I'll make sure I get that letter for you, so that you can track your donations. Otherwise, again, please just kind of share our fundraisers and live streams and things like that. And if you have any other ideas about fundraising, I'd love to hear them. maybe they can help me out. We've tried a couple of different ways. Not super happy with some of the results. Um, uh, I think most of them, a lot of the different fundraising techniques, just like there's a lot of either upfront costs or they kind of take a lot of money off the top. Um, Even PayPal's really bad about taking a big chunk of money from a 501c3. It kind of boggles my mind. But yeah, that's kind of what's going on here. Just making sure all the live streams are going well. But we will start with today's mantras and sutras and prayers for our dear animal friends. As a reminder, it's always great if your companion animals are nearby so that they can hear the prayers that are dedicated to them, or if wild animals can hear, that's super great. Maybe pop open a window so the birds and insects and any other live animals that might be nearby can hear these prayers and sutras that are dedicated to them. So we'll start with the Heart Sutra in the Animal Liberation Temple Prayer Book, found on page 4. Maka hanya haramita shengyo kanji zai bosatsu gyojin hanya haramita jisa kengo onkai kudo isai kuyaku shari shishiki fu kuku fu ishiki shiki zoku ze kuku zoku ze shiki ju sogyo shiki yaku bunyo ze shari shi ze shohoku so fu sho fu metsu fu ku fu jo fu zo fu shohoku so fu sho fu metsu fu ku fu jo fu zo fu genze koku chu mu shiki mu jo so gyo shiki mu gen ni bi zetsu shin ni mu shiki sho ko mi soku ho mu gen kai nai shi mu i shiki kai mu mu myo yaku mu mu myo jin nai shi mu ro shi yaku mu ro shi jin mu ku shu metsu do mu chi yaku mu toku i mu sho tokko bo dai sattai hanya haramita ko shin mu kege ko mu ku fun ri zai tendo mu so ku gyo ne han san se shobutsu e hanya haramita kotoku wa nokutara sanmyaku sanbodai koshi hanya haramita zedai shinshu zedai myoshu ze mujo shu ze mutodo shu no jo isai kushin jitsu fu koko zetsu hanya haramita shuzoku zetsu shu watsu gyate hara so gyate boji sawaka hanya shinyo negu waku wa kono kudoko mo amoneku 一切に及ぼし我ら当主者富な友の仏道 Animal Liberation を Jozen Koto O Jiho Sanshi Foshi Son Wasa Foshi Son Wasa Mokosa Moko Hoja Horo Mi. I will now recite the Refuge Prayer in Tibetan and then in English, page 8 of the Animal Liberation Temple Prayer Book. Sangye Jodan Zaki Jonam La Zanchu Batu Tati Gepsuchi Doki Jinzo Gipe Sonam Ki Trola Penger Sangye Jupar Sho. The Buddha, Dharma, and excellent assembly of the Sangha, until I attain enlightenment, these I take refuge. By my practice of the six perfections, may all sentient beings attain the state of Buddhahood. We now recite the four great Bodhisattva bells, Shigi Seigan, page 9 of the Animal Liberation Temple Prayer Book. Shujo Muhen Seigan Do Bono Mujin Segandan Homon Muryo Segangak Boltado Mujo Seganjo. However numerous sentient beings, I vow to enlighten them all. However inexhaustible my delusions, I vow to extinguish them all. However immeasurable the dharmas, I vow to master them all. However endlessly enlightened way, I vow to follow it fully. And we now recite the 6 vows to our dear animal friends. However numerous my dear animal friends, I vow to liberate them all. However diverse the methods of animal liberation, I vow to support them all. However unheard their voices, I vow to speak out for them all. However painful and inexhaustible the methods of suffering, I vow to bear witness to them all. However infinite the cages and tanks, I vow to empty them all. However difficult animal liberation, I vow to achieve it completely. And the recitation of the Vajrasattva Purification Mantra. Om Vajrasattva Maya Anupalaya Vajrasattva Te No Patita Cheto Me Baba Sito Sho Me Baba Sipo Sho Me Baba Anurato Me Baba Sava Sito Me Prayata Sava Karma Sito Me Chitam Shri Yam Guru Hom Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sava Tata Kata Vajrama Me Mucha Vajri Baba Mahasamam Ya Sapaha. Oh, good morning, Pauline Bradford. So good to see you. Pauline's been a longtime supporter of the temple, so happy to see folks joining our live stream and checking in and saying hello. I think my drum might have sounded a little different this morning, and that's because it got wet. It hasn't really thoroughly dried out yet. Um, One of those things I got to try to keep up with a little bit better is make sure that the drum comes out of the rain when it starts raining. Um, all right, so we're going to continue with the weekly practice conversations. Today's we're going to cover the Friday practice of prospering and prayers for our dear wild animal friends. One second while I check on Jingda one more time. So the Friday practices, I probably should be doing almost every day because this is the prospering practices and is meant to help, with fundraising, with um, generating the resources or manifesting the resources that are needed. Um, for the temple here, our animal friends here, as well as, kind of generating prosperity for all sentient beings. And I think that's always important to remember when we're talking about, prospering. And the whole idea is to be able to have the correct amount of resources evenly distributed for all folks in need that can best help them help others. I think that's an important part to um, keep in mind when doing this practice. So I'll start with reading the first paragraph. Poverty of extreme lack unevenly plagues the six worlds, exacerbating suffering, especially for the beings dwelling in the lower realms. So this, again, it states that poverty or of extreme lack, and when we talk about poverty, that doesn't always mean money, but it means like lacking of resources, lacking of our basic needs. Um, and it talks about how this is unevenly affected by folks living in the different six realms. So, I gave a whole talk before on the six realms, so we can see them as um, literally like six realms existing outside of our own, or we can see them as the six realms figuratively, um, being like the god realms and so forth, or the folks who have the extreme amount of resources and maybe way more resources than they need to have. This could be our um, Elon Musk's and folks like that who just have tremendous amounts of wealth. And then we can see these lower realms kind of manifest themselves as like the folks who might be experiencing houselessness, um, folks who are struggling to meet their basic needs. And we can see this as like the lower realms of existing, where we're just they're just trying to get by. And so we're recognizing that it's uneven, that this is an uneven situation. So, part of this practice is bringing this back into balance. The practice of prospering manifests generosity that overcomes the fears and privations of scarcity. By enriching all, we remove the conditions which chain beings in burdensome cycles of lack that also deprive health, happiness, and security, limiting both the awareness and will to follow the Dharma that leads to liberation. So basically, again, saying it's difficult to help others. It's difficult to pursue the Dharma. It's difficult to have peace of mind when we're simply just trying to survive. We're just trying to something like just trying to pay our rent or get our next meal or worry about if we're going to have shelter for the night. It's difficult to help others when this is our condition in life. So it's simply recognizing that um, uh, prospering is necessary, and it talks about the idea that we can overcome this through generosity, um, and it's the simple idea that when we have the ability to help others, that we actually do help others. Prospering generosity creates positive conditions for ourselves and others to pursue perfect livelihood and wholeheartedly engage in the perfection of an enlightened way. So this again goes back to this idea I keep talking about, that our happiness is absolutely dependent on others. Um, our suffering is also dependent on others. So when we suffer, others suffer around us. When we relieve that suffering from folks around us, it also relieves our own suffering. So when we are prospering, it's important to remember that we also want to help those around us also prosper, because this leads to that condition of all of us being able to prosper, and more easily lead a life of helping others, a livelihood that wholeheartedly engages in the perfection of an enlightened way. So, being able to pursue spiritual practice, being able to pursue helping our dear animal friends is absolutely dependent on our ability to meet our basic needs. Then I go into the second paragraph. Relevance to Ratnasambhava, Yellow Jambhava mantras and practice. Yeah, I will talk about that, Neil, definitely. From the perspective of our dear animal friends, we look at poverty as a lack of resources. Um, so when we talk about that from our dear animals' perspective, they don't need that cash flow. Yeah, they're not paying a specific bill or paying rent. Um, but their resources are, either the folks that are providing sanctuary to them. Maybe there are our pet friends who we need to provide basic medical and food and shelter for them. Um, this could be how our wild animals have the right environment, having the resources in their environment to continue eating, shelter, and things like that. So, from our wild animal friends' perspective, it is their environment is what is their resources. We dedicate today's practice so that we might manifest any and all resources needed for our dear animal friends. May they have shelter, plentiful food, and water. Moreover, we pray that all the individuals and organizations that seek to provide our dear animal friends with shelter, food, water, and safety may magnetize all the needed resources. Let all the animal rights organizations, activists, investigators, sanctuaries, and all who advocate on behalf of our dear animal friends be prosperous and have access to all resources they need. So this is, this practice is putting that intention out into the world. Whether we have the ability to help, we can always put the intention out there to help. I think that is of great benefit. At least putting that prayer out there, putting that intention out there, putting out that some meaningful action towards that. So that doesn't necessarily always mean, opening up your wallet and donating, although we greatly appreciate that. Sometimes that just means, like I said, sharing. Maybe that means coming and helping out and building a structure. Maybe that means donating. I'm sorry. Maybe that means volunteering at your local sanctuary, at your local animal shelter. Um, Maybe that means, building a wild animal birdhouse out in your front yard. Maybe that means, we have. I'll show you later on to today's video, but we have a little insect house over at the side of the fence here that insects can use. Wild insects can use as a little home and shelter for them. So that's, maybe that's what that means for your own individual situation. And then we move on to the mantra recitations, Ratnasambhava and Yellow Jambala. And Ratnasambhava is both of these, Ratnasambhava and Yellow Jambala are wealth bodhisattvas or wealth deities. And again, when we say like wealth, I always mean resources, the resources needed to help others, the resources needed to sustain self, and the extra needed resources to be able to spread that wealth out and help others. So these specific bodhisattvas help to magnetize that particular thing. It also is said to be able to help with good judgment, right? So, when we think of what would the bodhisattva do? If I have an extra $100 I'm not using, what would the bodhisattva do? It's like, well, first I need to take care of myself. Maybe I'll eat a good meal. Maybe I'll pay a couple bills. But with that extra over, maybe I skip that extra coffee and donate this to my local animal shelter. And having that type of wisdom is important. And so the mantras like Ratnasambhava and Yellow Jambala help manifest these kind of good intentions, and these manifest the wealth needed to be able to do those good intentions. I have a Ratnasambhava? I believe it is Ratnasambhava. Yeah. Statue here. And I'm sure it's probably difficult to see in this video, but this is Ratnasambhava, and I really like this Ratnasambhava statue because he's holding a little mongoose in his hand. And maybe it looks kind of like a little rat. And this little mongoose friend of his is said to be able to spit out jewels to help other sentient beings and to help folks be able to have stability in their life, to continue the practice and continue the Dharma. And so he Ratnasambhava accomplishes this with his little rat fan that he gingerly holds in his left hand here. Very important practice. I gotta check on Jingdo, 1 second. Yeah, so the Yellow Jambala versus the Ratnasambhava, I think they're just two different bodhisattvas that accomplish kind of the same thing. The Yellow Jambala practice is probably a little bit more obscure, but very similar in the action. Then we move on to the prayers for our dear animal friends specifically. Let us send all of our merit, past, present, and future, to all our dear wild animal friends, being trapped, hunted, caged, and or killed from fur, flesh, leather, trophies, the zoo, and collector trade, and for wild animals being forced into stress and extinction due to the loss of habitat and poison. So kind of just recognizing all the things that unfortunately happen to our deer animal wild friends, all the reasons that they might be harmed, and all of these reasons are because of human animals, unfortunately. May all the suffering and causes of suffering to our dear wild animal friends be forever ceased. May all the obstacles on their path to liberation to our dear wild animal friends be removed. May our dear wild animal friends be filled with love and compassion. And then we name off a lot of our wild animal friends so that we can think of examples. And as always, you could add your own, and maybe there's some wild animal friends near you that you're thinking about, and so you could probably just add, them to this list. But we, specifically call out our deer, bears, and foxes, and cougars, deer, alligators, hippos, giraffes, wild horses, prairie dogs, primates, mink, bison, beavers, elephants, penguins, frogs, toads, lions, tigers, wolves, coyotes, moose, birds, hogs, fish, dolphins, whales, lizards, and all other magnificent beings born in freedom and suffering now at the hands of human beings, living in fear of human beings and mourning the loss of loved ones who have been tortured and or imprisoned or killed. We bear witness to your suffering and take spiritual and physical action to end it forever, and we continually accumulate and dedicate our merit, love, and compassion to comfort you and to transform the hearts of those who support this violent oppression. So again, we just make that statement, that we want to end all of the suffering, and that we want to send you love and compassion, as well as hope to transform the hearts of those who support this violent oppression. So not only do we want to help our animals, friends, directly, spiritually and physically, but also directly, spiritually and physically, we want to change the minds and hearts of those who are actually either doing this oppression or support this oppression, either directly or indirectly. May all your suffering end immediately, right here and now, through me. May you quickly experience happiness, safety, freedom, and animal liberation. May you be reborn in whatever life is most beneficial for all sentient beings. So that is the Friday practice. I hope folks are doing these daily practices. If you need more clarifications, please reach out to me, and I will help out however I can with that. I believe next week will be the last one, is Saturday's practice, unless I didn't remember to do the Sunday one. I thought we started on Sunday, but let me know. I believe it was Saturday that we will make it through all the daily practices, and then we'll kind of start on a new topic. I like this here. Let's see here. Neil mentioned, I have various birds who visit, including magpies. I love magpies, sparrows, starlings, herrings. Where'd it go? Herrings, gulls, crows, blackbirds, pigeons, etc. In this prayer, I can add them as well. All can, as well as we all can, of course. Yes, please add all your different types of wild animal friends that you might connect to in your area. If you see them, please say something and add that practice. Did we not start on Monday practice? I think you might be right, Neil. We think we did start on Monday, so we'll do Saturdays and Sundays teaching still. I thought it felt a little ahead. So next week we'll do Saturday, and the week after that we'll do the Sunday daily practices. I definitely do not want to reincarnate on this planet anymore. LOL, too much suffering and cruelty. This is a tough realm to live in. LOL. Yes, Yolanda. This realm is very difficult. And I don't blame anybody who not wanting to be reborn on this realm again. And in fact, many practices in Buddhism is geared towards being reborn in another realm, ideally like a pure realm, the, Amitabha's realm or Western Pure Land, a realm where you are close to the teachings of the Buddhas, and you can become enlightened and continue to help other beings from that point. Um, and um, I, I want to challenge folks to think about that deeply, that to come to realize that um, the suffering that we experience on this realm is simply a mirror of all the other suffering um, that exists for other beings, and that the only relief to that suffering is through, spiritual and physical action, to actually seek out that suffering and to relieve it. And until we can manifest the relief of suffering of others, is when we will relieve the suffering of ourselves. Personally, I hope, again, to reincarnate in whatever place is most beneficial for all sentient beings. And if that means, being reborn in a hell realm, then I do hope I'm reborn in the hell realms. And if that means being reborn, directly into this realm, I hope that's where I'm incarnated on. I take the example of Jizo Bodhisattva, who is reborn in the hell realms to help those beings there, as Jizo Bodhisattva realized that those beings were of the most need. He incarnated into that realm to help those beings. So in turn, I hope I'm incarnated in whatever place is most beneficial for all sentient beings, especially my dear animal friends. If it helps that I'm reborn as a chicken to help my chicken friends that way, then I hope that's where I'm reborn. If I'm helps to be reborn as, a human that can continue to advocate and fight for our dear animal friends, I hope that's my incarnation. But that's a challenge I put out to folks to think about the idea of incarnating into whatever place is most beneficial for all sentient beings. And at the same time, I do hope that folks are incarnated into the pure realm. I do many practices for our dear animal friends to help them incarnate into that pure realm. I want all beings to be free of suffering, including all you folks out there, all the folks that are tuning in here. I hope that all of your suffering is relieved quickly, and I don't want any other beings to suffer either. Just something to challenge yourself and think about, is all of the other beings out there, and how our suffering is dependent on theirs. But this realm is super tough to live in, and I'm 44 years old, so maybe maybe when I get older, I'll change my mind and be so tired and not want to continue this fight. But I hope not. I pray for my own strength to continue helping all sentient beings as long as possible on this realm, and I hope to continue that. That's how I feel today, and so maybe, I'm open-minded that maybe I'll get just sick and tired of this after a few more decades. We'll see. Okay, so we'll conclude today's services with the dedication of merit and the animal liberation prayer, as well as our quick sanctuary tour. So we'll read the animal liberation prayer found on page 12, 13, and 14 of the Animal Liberation Temple Prayer Book. May all sentient beings, especially our dear animal friends who are subject to unbearable pain in labs throughout the world, be free of all suffering. May alternatives to animal experimentation, vivisection, and dissection be implemented immediately. May bodhicitta, the quality of compassion that leads to enlightenment, fill the hearts of those who imprison them. May all sentient beings, especially our dear animal friends who suffer endless days, months, and years, locked in tiny cages unable to move, be filled with peace and calm. May all sentient beings, especially our dear animal friends who are forcibly taken from their families, be reunited, and may all families be able to stay together. May the hearts of those who work in slaughterhouses, factory farms, and all industries that exploit our dear animal friends be filled with bodhicitta, so the very thought of harm is purified. May they never kill again, and may the slaughterhouse lines, factory farms, and all industries that exploit our dear animal friends become immediately empty. May no animal be afraid or depressed. May their bodies be free of injuries, disease, and illness. May the mutilation of their bodies be forever ceased. May those who need homes or have been driven from them find shelter, plentiful food, and water. May there be liberation for those tortured for fur, entertainment, or who are hunted. May those who believe that they are superior to our brother and sister animals develop perfect equanimity, and may they realize in their hearts that all sentient beings possess Buddha nature, the potential to be completely free of suffering, and that they are not ours to kill or exploit. May the billions of land and sea-dwelling sentient beings who are abused, exploited, and killed due to greed, hatred, and ignorance be free of suffering. May all the nets, hooks, blades, projectiles, traps, snares, cages, pens, tanks, lethal restraints, saddles, reins, prods, bait, poison, and all instruments used to harm, exploit, and dominate our dear animal friends be forever abolished. May all human and non-human sentient beings live together in harmony, peace, equanimity, and achieve perfect enlightenment quickly. May we all experience happiness, safety, freedom, and animal liberation in this very lifetime. And we now recite the dedication merit to our dear animal friends. Throughout our many lives and until this moment, whatever virtue we have accomplished, including this aspiration for peace, and all that we will ever attain, this we offer for the benefit of all sentient beings, especially our dear animal friends. May suffering, exploitation, and unnecessary death be ceased for every being, while wisdom, bliss, and compassion increase in this and every future life. May we clearly perceive the plight of our dear animal friends with the urgency and seriousness they deserve, and our every action leads to them complete liberation. May we quickly attain enlightenment and work ceaselessly for the liberation of all sentient beings. I thought of one more point before, while I was reading those prayers, on the idea of being reborn, not into this realm again. I do think actually that's not a completely bad idea, especially when we think about wanting to achieve animal liberation in this very lifetime. So if we work hard at trying to achieve that, then maybe it won't even be necessary to be reborn in this realm, if we can achieve animal liberation in this very lifetime. So maybe having that goal of not wanting to be reborn in this realm could be a very good one when we think about the idea of achieving our goals quickly and in this very lifetime. So we'll start at Sanctuary Torah as soon as I check on Jingda. Where's Lucy? Let's zoom out a bit. There's Harriet and Priya. And there is Dora. Good job, Dora. All right, I gotta go check on Jingda again. So I'm gonna leave everybody here to kind of check out the animals. All right, yeah, Jingda needed my help. So hope everybody enjoyed Harriet and Priya. Little duck friends, gonna hang out in the sun. That's Sabrina. Hey, Sabrina. Look at all the red hens are doing in here. With Elton. Hey, Elton. And all the hens are just hanging out in here this morning. I'm sorry if the camera's not always super steady. I'm trying to do my best to kind of keep it steady. I'm gonna check out Jingda. Hey Jingda, you doing okay? Have some water. The little new rat hammocks. This little climbing toy I was talking about. Everybody's sleeping though. And then we have Sequoia. Hi Sequoia. You like your new little aviary here? Yeah, it's actually pretty big. It's meant for I think like 4 birds. It's one of the biggest ones I could find online. Yeah, it's a beautiful sound, Sequoia. And here's Ray coming in the house, sharing some water with Jingda. Jingda and Ray are really good friends. Walk this way because we can check out our Cornish friends. As well as kind of see our pigeon friends. I haven't checked on our pigeon friends in a while. Let's see how they're doing. They really like to fly. There's FP. He's that little brown roller right there. Everybody wants to stand in front of FP. Trying to show you off, FP. Oh, there you go. All the pigeons. They're beautiful nesting boxes. Thanks to Peter, who lives here in the Bay Area, helped build a lot of these pigeon boxes, nesting boxes. Everybody's doing so good. They can actually, kind of take really good long flights out here in this very big pigeon aviary. All right, just gonna walk back. Medical building where the tortoises are staying at. I'm sorry if I'm not always very steady with the camera. I'm still working on things, but I hope people still enjoy my sanctuary tours. I enjoy showing folks, everybody, how things are here. This is kind of my view from, where I do the services, my house, the bathroom, the medical building, the solar shed, tools, the water system and filter. Yeah, that's kind of everything. You can see that one of those filters are pretty green. I'm gonna need to replace it soon. Tony mentioned the hummingbirds. Absolutely beautiful to see hummingbirds visit. I love that Yolanda's always having coffee with me as well. I am doing well. This practice, I always ask the universe, God, to give me enough health and strength in a year so that I can care for my 3 cats until they are alive. Yeah, thank you so much for caring for our dear cat friends, Yolanda. I wish I could um, care for cat friends again. I miss my cat friends. Yeah, the vegetation is coming in already. It's coming in pretty green. It started yesterday because of the rain. The starting to come in green, so it's pretty good. It must be in the very low realm, always lacking money. Yeah, um, definitely feel you on that, Yolanda. Okay. Well, thank you everybody for joining us here at the Animal Liberation Temple, Dobutsu Kyoji, where we are at the service of the spiritual and physical liberation of our dear animal friends. A very wonderful week. Please reach out to me if you have any questions. If you have any ways you think we can fundraise better, if you know of any ways we can do this particular service better, um, we are now finally multi-streaming on multiple platforms, which is really good. So please share and tell your friends about that. Please subscribe to YouTube. That really helps that algorithm. Follow us on Instagram. That helps that algorithm. Follow us on Facebook, as most of you already do. That's great. Like this live stream, share this live stream, like our fundraiser posts. I will be setting another one out this week to kind of try to help throughout this week. I think we have like Giving Tuesday coming up here. Not this Tuesday, but maybe next Tuesday. So maybe that'll help out. But thank you, everyone. Have a wonderful week. And, please help our dear animal friends however you can.